Picture this. The year is 1991. The only thing you have in this lonely night is a CRT TV, a Sega Genesis, and one game, Sonic the Hedgehog. Excited, you open the game case and put the cartridge on your new console, and Sega! You can't believe it. You have never seen this amount of detail, this speed, this music. And while you were fascinated by the present, at the same time you think, if this is how they look now, how would they look in the future? Wait, what? This is what we call a re-release. The concept is simple: grab an old game and release it again on newer platforms. And it makes a ton of sense. Games can only be played on very specific hardware, on very specific TVs, with very specific controllers. And it gets to the point that turning your old console to play a game once in a while gets tiring. So why not bring those games to the modern age? You can give those old fans of that game a new way to play, while giving the opportunity to newer fans to try those games they could never play before. Re-releases come in various forms: ports, remakes, remasters, emulation, or just straight up releasing the same game again on sale. Either way, re-releases are not only good ways to keep those old games alive, but it also functions as a way to preserve those games. Who knows, maybe someday every copy of Mario Bros. 1 will die, or worse, be sold for stupid amounts of money. But there is no need to worry, for you see, games like Mario 1, A Link to the Past, Kirby's Adventure, those will forever be re-released countless times. And then is this f***ing guy. Sonic 1 has more than 30 re-releases. From the original Genesis game to a f***ing car. Sonic 1 has been on every platform known to man. And here am I, thinking, oh, there aren't that many re-releases, I can make a video just fine. Well, strap in, because today we will look at every single version of Sonic the Hedgehog 1991 with the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. And just for fun, I will also give it a score from 1 to 5. Hey, what's that? Yeah, before we begin, we need to set some ground rules. In the case of multi-platform games like Mega Collection, where there are different versions of different consoles, I will only talk about one version in particular. This means that for the sake of this video, Mega Collection Plus on the PS2 is the same as Mega Collection Plus on the Xbox. Also, no cheap plug and plays. The one that comes to mind are the many versions made by AtGames, but there are also some like these Play TV Legends. If we counted those, this video will never end. There is a little exception, but we will talk about it when we get there. And finally, no fan re-releases. The Sonic community has ported Sonic 1 to any place that Sega hasn't touched. While most of these ports like the Super Nintendo one are really impressive, let's try to keep it official. But again, I will make an exception to this rule as well when the time comes. Without further delay, let's begin. There is no better way than to start with the original Sonic the Hedgehog. And actually, there are two versions of this game. There is the international version, or REV00, which is the version most people know, and then there is the Japanese version, or REV01. Looking at these names, we can see that the Japanese version is actually a later build of the game. This means that some things got improved, like these clouds on Green Hill. They actually move. And also, they added this ring in Labyrinth Zone Act 1, meaning that you can get 50 rings and go to the special stage. But apart from that, Sega re-released the game multiple times just on the Genesis. There is Sonic Classics, also known as Sonic Compilation in Europe, a compilation of Sonic 1, Sonic 2 and Mean Bean Machine. There is also Mega 6 Volume 3, compilation of many Genesis games, with Sonic 1 included. Only for PAL territories though. But don't worry, there was also the 6-pack, another compilation of various Genesis games, including Sonic 1. And Sonic 1 even got its own standalone re-release with this Sega Classic branding. But those are just boring re-releases for a console that can already play Sonic 1, so let's see something more exciting. This is the MegaPlay version. MegaPlay is a series of arcade cabinets that can play Genesis games, but since it was made with the mentality of any other arcade game, MegaPlay features different versions compared to the home console releases, and for the case of Sonic 1, this meant various things. The first thing you will notice is that every act has a strict time limit. The other difference is that extra lives are completely absent. And finally, Marble Zone, Labyrinth Zone and Scrap Brain Zone Act 3 and every special stage have been removed. This was probably done to keep the pacing, but man, that's like half of an already really short game. And I actually had the chance to play this version on a real arcade, and let me tell you, playing Sonic 1 with an arcade stick and buttons is really weird. But still, I beat it in like 20 minutes without having to expend any more money. Probably not a good move if you want players to keep putting credits into your arcade machine, but who am I to judge? This version is known by many Sonic fans, but did you know that this was not the only arcade port? This is MegaTech, a predecessor to MegaPlay. MegaTech is also a series of arcade cabinets that can play Genesis games, but the big difference is that MegaTech just straight up plays the original games, no special version with cut levels or anything like that, just the Genesis originals. So what's the catch? Well, the catch is that this machine has a global time limit, which means that after the time is over, boom, you're out. Extra credit gives you more time to play though. And I think this is a good place to introduce my ranking system. We have 5 tiers, with tier 3 being versions with the same level of quality as the original. If it goes below 3, it means that that version is worse than the original. If it goes above 3, it means it's better. Pretty simple. With that said, I think both of these versions get a 2. While they are cool novelties, they are not the ideal way to play this game. MegaPlay actually gets a little bit more credit for actually being unique, but that's the only positive I can find. Going back to consoles again, we have Sonic Jam on the Sega Saturn. Sonic Jam is a compilation of the 4 main Genesis games, but it also comes with Sonic World. I already talked about Sonic World in a previous video, but in short, it's a 3D map that has the extras of this game. And while everyone goes on and on about Sonic World, they never talk about the actual Genesis games, and that's a shame since this version of the original trilogy is actually quite unique. The first big change we can see is this menu of a difficulty select. We have easy, normal and original. Original is of course the original games, but easy and normal are the really interesting stuff. Instead of giving you more lives or something like that, they actually changed the level to accommodate for this change. And they even skip some levels altogether, but that's not all. Sonic 1 actually has the spin dash, making this the first time it was possible. And if you select this option, they also patched the infamous spike glitch. How cool is that? But how did they manage to change the game so much? Well, every game in this collection is actually a port rather than emulation. That's why some people say they don't feel quite as the originals, and to be honest, I don't see the difference. The only big annoying thing I noticed is that some sound effects are different, like the jump and ring sound effects. But outside from that, I think this version deserves a good 4. Not the best version there is, but one that still holds value all these years later. On the complete other side of the coin, we have Sega Smashback Volume 1. This is a compilation of some Genesis games for the Dreamcast. But unlike Sonic Jam, this is emulation, so that means it's the same quality as the original, right? But sprite layering, slowdown, and that awful sound. And this is not just Sonic 1, every game is this bad. At the end of the day, it's still Sonic 1. A bad way to play Sonic 1, but a way to play Sonic 1 nevertheless. Yeah, that's a 2 for me. No wonder they never made a volume 2. Oh yeah, and that happened. And that's actually a good transition to the next set of Sonic ports. You see, since Sega became a third-party developer, they had the chance to put Sonic 1 in everything they could. And boy did they put Sonic 1 in everything they could, starting with the beloved Sonic Mega Collection for the Nintendo GameCube. To be honest, Mega Collection can probably have a video just for its own. The amount of detail, the music, the nostalgic feeling UI, and some of the best extras like cutscenes from Sonic CD, every classic manual, some Archie comics. Without a doubt, the best Sonic collection to date. But we are not here for that. How are the games? Pretty good actually. It doesn't have anything special like the spin dash, but it's a really solid way to play this game. 3. Mega Collection later got an update on the PC, PS2 and Xbox called Mega Collection Plus. It has every game the original Mega Collection had, plus some Game Gear titles. To be honest, I prefer the look of the original Mega Collection, and also a lot of the extras are missing, but enough about opinions. It got bundled with Monkey! Oh yeah, and the PC version became part of Sonic PC Collection, which also included Sonic Riders, Sonic Hero and Sonic Adventure DX. That means that this collection has 29 Sonic games. Jesus! This compilation was later re-released as Sonic Anniversary PC Pack only in Australia. It also included a special Sonic mouse and mousepad, but since every one of these versions are just simple emulations of the original game, they all get a 3. But speaking of Mega Collection, this is Sonic Gems Collection, a pseudo-sequel to Mega Collection, containing games that were left behind from the first compilation. That means that Sonic 1 isn't playable in this collection normally. But you can unlock the final boss of Sonic 1, and if you beat it fast enough, you can play some of the actual game. A cool unlockable for sure, but it's by no way a good way to experience Sonic 1, so it gets a 1. But this is not the end of the 6th generation of consoles. This is Sega Genesis Collection for the PS2 and the PSP, another collection of various Genesis games, including, of course, Sonic 1. Again, just simple emulation, so 3. And you know what, since we're here, let's just go over some more simple re-releases on a lightning round. Sonic 1 was available on the Wii Virtual Console, the Xbox 360, Xbox Live Arcade, with the Sega Vintage Collection branding. Staying on the same console, there was Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection that included Sonic 1. It was also available on the PS3's PlayStation Network store. There is Sega Mega Drive Classic Collection, with Volume 1 having the first game, who was later re-released as Mega Drive Classic Collection Gold Edition, containing every single volume of the collection. Sonic 1 was also included in the Sonic Classic Collection for the DS. There is also the Sega and Genesis Classic for Steam, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. Sonic 1 can be bought by its own on Steam, and finally it was unlockable on the console version of Sonic Generation, which is a pretty cool bonus that the PC version doesn't have. I heard that the enhanced ports Sonic Generation had on the newer Xbox consoles messes up the emulation, but I can't confirm that since I don't have an Xbox Series S or X. That was a ton of Sonic ports. How many are left? Let's talk about the mobile ports. In 2005, Sonic 1 was released through Sonic Cafe, a service for mobile phones that had a lot of exclusive games like Sonic Kart, and Sonic Darts, and Sonic Casino Pocket. Yeah, not the most impressive selection of games, but it was cool nonetheless. But going back to Sonic 1, well, it's as good as a port you can get on all phones from the early 2000s, I guess. And actually, this version was later ported as Sonic the Hedgehog Mobile, which actually had 3 different versions. One that contains the entire game and was just like the Sonic Cafe port, one that is identical to the other ports but has no sound effects, and one version that was the same as every other version, but it was divided in 2 parts. Part 1 had the first 3 zones, while Part 2 had the rest. While they were impressive ports back in the days, nowadays there are way better ways to play Sonic 1. So even if you somehow manage to get a hold of any of these versions, what are you doing? 1. But we are not out of the mobile ports yet. This is Sonic 1 for the iPod. Yeah, remember when the iPod actually had games? Well, Sega took the chance and ported Sonic 1 to the iPod, and it's actually a pretty faithful version. Even the sound effects sound just as they did in the original. The only problem is the device in which it's on. Controlling Sonic with a click wheel looks awful, and in the default control scheme, you have to hold the play/pause button to crouch. You know, the button that also tunes the iPod into sleep mode. So yeah, 2. There is also the iOS version, which is actually different from the iPod version. What's the big difference? It's simple, the iOS version sucks. Remember that Sega Smash Pack version? Well, that's basically this version. Slowdown, bad sound effects, awful touch controls, you name it. This version was also ported to the Android Kyocera Echo. The what? Yeah, apparently this existed. It kinda looks like a DS, but it has the same version as the iOS Sonic 1, so they both get a 2. Thankfully, if you had the iOS version, you actually got a free update in the form of this is the Christian Whitehead port of Sonic 1, also known as Sonic 2013 or Sonic 1 Retro Engine. This version is a complete remaster of the original version using the great Retro Engine, using the fan game Retro Sonic, and oh boy is this version good! And where do I even start? Widescreen, the spin dash, better physics, tails and angles playable with some new pads exclusive to them, a Secret 7 special stage with Supersonic unlockable, elemental shields, achievements, time trials, probably Jesus Christ somewhere there. It's absolutely crazy what they managed to do, and to this day, this is the best official Sonic 1 version. The only problem is that it's stuck on mobile. And I know a lot of people have said this before, but Sega, what the fuck is your problem? You have this perfect version of Sonic 1 and 2 ready to go, but you'd rather make worse version of modern consoles. Do you hate money? Of course, I know about the decom that I will talk about later, but still, the fact that this version is still rotting there almost 10 years is stupid, but let's move on. There still is time to scream at Sega later on, trust me. In a more positive note, this is 3D Sonic the Hedgehog, developed by M2, only for the 3DS eShop. This version has the spin dash, some filters, customizable controls, and the option to play either the Japanese version with all his improvements or the international version. But the main appeal are not those options, it's the great 3D effect. I can't show it on screen, but in actual hardware it's amazing. This version was later bundled with other 3D ports in the Sega 3D Classics collection. This version was actually the foundation of Sega Age's Sonic the Hedgehog, another port by M2, this time exclusive to the Switch. This version has everything the 3DS version has, minus the 3D effect, and adds a ton of features. The drop dash from Sonic Mania was added, Ring Keeper mode, which means that you start with 10 rings and only lose half of them when you get hit, Challenge mode, which is divided in time attack mode and score attack mode, pretty self-explanatory, and finally, MegaPlay mode. Oh my god, look, is that MegaPlay version that we talked about earlier. What a cool bonus. Every version gets a solid 4. There is also the fantastic Sega Genesis Mini, which included Sonic 1. It's even on the box just like the original, but since it's trying to imitate the actual console, this version of Sonic 1 is the same as the original, so another 3. And since I already talked about the Genesis Classic Collection, that only leaves one more version, the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack, which of course included Sonic 1. I mean, there is no way a premium service like this for Genesis games doesn't have the most iconic game on the platform. That would be stupid. Let me just check the lineup here. Wait a second. Does it not have Sonic 1? What the fuck, Sega Nintendo? You put Sonic 2 but not Sonic 1? I know Sonic 1 is already on the Switch, but Sonic 2 also has multiple versions on the Switch. It's like if the NES emulator had Mario 3 but not Mario 1. I mean, Mario 3 is better than 1, just like Sonic 2 is better than 1, but still, how do you not put your most famous game in this $50 trash service with terrible online and bad emulation? What the fuck? Calm down. Look at the bright side. The Tesla Arcade just released its newest update and it has Sonic 1. That's cool, I guess. I mean, this is the most expensive version of the game and can possibly get you killed by playing it while driving, but still, it's cool. And speaking of cool, Sonic 1 will be featured on the upcoming Sonic Origins, a collection of the 5 mainline classic Sonic games in widescreen. As of the making of this video, we don't know if this will be the Christian or Whitehead versions or what other features they will have apart from widescreen, and even if they are the Christian or Whitehead versions, sadly they will not be the definitive version of these games, because I think we already have the definitive versions. First, some history. After Sega refused to port the Christian and Whitehead versions for years, one person had enough. If Sega wasn't going to do it, he would. After many years of hard work, the year was finally 2021. To be more specific, it was the 17th of January. On that day, Robert Dakikuli dropped this, a full decompilation of Sonic 1 and 2, which meant that we could finally play the Whitehead versions on PC. Later, another group of fans thought, that's cool, but what if it was even better? And this, my friends, is the definitive way to play Sonic 1. This is Sonic 1 Forever by Team Forever. This is a project that takes the decompilation of Sonic 1 and adds a ton of features and style. It brings a very slick UI, a disgusting amount of options to make your Sonic 1 just as you like, and a ton of extra modes like a boss rush, a special maker, time trials, and more. There is literally no reason to not play this version over any other re-release. It may seem annoying to set up at first, but trust me, it's worth it. Please try this. Oh, and the same team that made this is working on a Sonic 2 version called Sonic 2 Absolute, which many of the same features from Sonic 1 Forever. So after this video, check them out. And that's not a question, that's an order. Whew. Well, that is every single version of Sonic 1. While I knew there were a ton of versions, I never imagined having this many versions. But who cares? The only thing that matters is that I am free. That's all from me, and I will see you until next. Wait, what do you mean I forgot one version? I mean, let me check again. Oh, there is a Game Boy Advance version? How did I forget? Well, might as well check it out. Oh. Yeah, I'm done.